Here we are. I'm live from Ashley's bedroom. It's steak and blowjob day, or at least it was. It's belated. Happy belated steak and blowjob day, everybody. Hopefully, you got yours. It was yesterday. I don't know. It wasn't really widely publicized. Sorry, dude. I mean, is this raunchy? Is too raunchy to start out with. Oh well. I mean, that's just part of my brand, I guess. I'm a small business owner. I'm one of the small business owners. I'm sorry if I haven't gotten back to your messages. I'm being held hostage by various people who I'm house sitting where they're on the premises.
No one's holding hostage.
Send send help. No, I'm just kidding. No, I mean I've had very gracious people who are allowing me to have a place to sleep and a warm, and that's like huge. So I appreciate that a lot. And I apologize if I haven't gotten back to your Instagram messages. My phone died. I don't know if it's dead or not. It's at the Apple store right now. I should probably be going to get it, but I haven't gone live in like almost a month. And so I need to touch base with my fans. I'm a small business owner, okay? I need to this is part of running my business. And support small businesses by just clicking like and subscribing if you're not already a subscriber to my small business. So yeah, my phone is at the Apple store. The battery is compromised. It's severely degraded. That's what it told me. And then the phone just stopped. It got in a reboot kind of purgatory. Thank you for the like. It got in kind of a reboot purgatory limbo situation. And so I don't know what the fuck is going to happen. I mean, I got it 10 months ago. It's not even a year old. I'm sort of covered under the warranty, possibly. That's what I'm really holding out for. Here's the thing I didn't drop it in a toilet or anything. I didn't drop it in a glass of water. There was definitely no incident that should have caused severe enough water damage. I don't know if this is a common problem that people have where there's just like easily water damaging their phone. But are you on Adderall? Is everybody out there on Adderall? Hopefully everybody's on speed. I think, why is everyone in K? I've never done, I don't know what the interest there is. But anyway, I'm in Ashley's bedroom, okay? We're live from Ashley's bedroom. This is her map. This is her whole like cognitive. This is the map of her mental and relational landscape. We're on 109th Street. Check out this nice Upper Manhattan kind of vibe here. This is a little tour of Ashley's getting spam. If you've noticed, she's very selective about who she allows to follow her on Instagram. She's got a private. Oh boy, let's not put this on the live stream, okay? No last names. Only I may dox people on my live stream, okay? Please don't swat me, okay? I know I've got my internet presence is blowing up, obviously, but do not swat me. Pensacola. I've got Pensacola stories. Ashley's distracting me from my live stream. She's looking at her Instagram. Do you want to talk about it, or can I interview you about your Instagram? What are you looking at?
Eddie.
We're looking at Eddie's. Oh boy, this is in the live stream. Pensacola. It's a cool part of Florida. If you've never been there, one of the worst days of my life was in Pensacola, but it's a beautiful place. When I was 7 years old, my dad was playing this country band called Copperhead Canyon. And they had a gig in a bar on the waterfront in Pensacola, Florida. And so he dropped us off with our grandparents in Panama City Beach, and my grandfather. Ashley is being very distracting. Okay, I'm not being distracted. It's killing the stream. Okay. I have to involve you. If you're going to be sitting here, I have to involve you.
Tell you sorry.
No, I can't. I just can't. It's not possible. If you're sitting here, then we have to talk or something. So.
What do you want to talk about?
I don't know.
Wait, continue.
This is an experiment. I've never had a person sitting right here while I live stream. It's obviously a very shameful activity, and I always try to do it in complete isolation. I am continuing it. I've been crash surfing with people for a month. And so I'm at my wit's end. I have no time alone. I'm constantly, oh, it's Kiwi Mountain. It's our favorite person, Kiwi Mountain. What do you do, Ashley? Kiwi Mountain wants to know. Do you want to tell him? Do you want to share that information on the internet? Dox yourself?
I curate dreams.
Ashley curates dreams. Did you hear that? She curates dreams. Like Mark Zuckerberg.
What?
Curating our dreams via Instagram.
Wait, finish your Pensacola story.
So my dad dropped me off at my grandparents', and he went to Pensacola to play this gig, and he thought, oh, it'll be cool to leave my kids there for a few days. I was 7 years old. It was the first time I'd ever been away from both of my parents at once. And I was already kind of afraid of my dad because he was a very violent person when I was like young. He was an alcoholic and like was violent. And so it was already scary to be there. It was the first time I was ever away from my mom. And so I was like freaking out, you know, and I was really homesick. I missed my mom, you know, I don't know. I was 7 years old. And my grandfather was kind of a mean person, and he was abusive. He was a violent person. And he didn't hit me or anything, but he was just yelling at me. So my dad left us there, my brother and me. You know, it was the first time we'd ever been away from, we're fucking 1,000 miles from Columbus. Like, I don't know what the fuck is going to happen. You know, you think I'm never going to see my parents again or something. You know, at that age, you don't know, you know. And so my grandpa's just yelling at me, shut the fuck up, you know, like this kid drive me nuts, you know, he won't stop crying. Stop crying. I'll give you something to cry about. You know, that's something that like the Proctors would say. I'll give you something to cry about. You want something to cry about it. And so, you know, after 2 days of this or something, we finally drove. You know, I was freaking out. You know, we drove to Pensacola from Panama City Beach, which is like, I don't know, 90 miles or something. It's like an hour and a half. My grandpa had a CB radio in his car. He, you know, he's that kind of person. I don't know. And I remember we're driving to Pensacola and he missed the fucking off ramp. I was like, you know, trying to make sure like we're going to connect with my dad and at least like I'm going to be with one of my parents, you know, and someday I'm going to get home away from this mean old fucking guy, you know, who's just like, I mean, he was a mean person, you know, he didn't, you know, he would beat the shit out of my dad. He'd hit him with the belt and shit. And, you know, luckily he didn't put a finger on any of us, you know, but like, he missed the off ramp to Pensacola. And I remember like sitting there going like, that's the fucking off ramp. And he like, you know, to me that the whole thing was like traumatic, the whole fucking, but then, you know, we connected, we were staying with our dad in this fucking house in Pensacola with all these fucking country music hillbilly dudes who play like pedal steel guitar and shit. And he had this gig right on the beach, you know, in this bar fucking, you know, after that, it was I was able to calm down a little bit, but like, I was definitely happy to get home. You know, I was like, on the drive home, I was like really eager, you know. I'm getting emotional even thinking about it right now. You know, that's like a memory I don't really, but it's in Pensacola, so that's weird. That's my association with Pensacola, Florida. It's part of like Apalachicola, which is like hillbilly Panhandle, Florida, which is where my family lived. They all lived in Panama City Beach, which it's spring break. And we're on spring break right now. And Ashley's on spring break. at Columbia. She goes to a certain university in New York City. We'll shall go nameless. They're on spring break right now. And it's so the Proctor family, they all lived in fucking Panama City Beach. Like Moondog. My Uncle Pat had he was wearing cutoffs. He practically invented cutoffs. He had a mullet. He looked like Ernest, but he had a super turbo awesome mullet. That's my family. My dad's family are fucking pretty much hillbillies. And Panama City Beach is spring break forever. You never have to leave. It's like MTV spring break was there. And I don't know. I feel like this is an awkward way to start. Kiwi Mountains watching me recount traumatic childhood memories. I'm crying. I'm about to cry. That memory is just, it has to do with like, I don't know, parents and shit. I'd rather not think about it. That's why I live in New York. I'm an adult. I'm 38 years old, okay? I don't need to worry about it. But Panama City Beach, we would go there when we were kids, play miniature golf at Pirates Island. That's probably my favorite place on earth. We'd play fucking Signal Hill Golf Course with Uncle Pat. And I mean, my whole dad's side of the family are like profanity artists. Like the conversations between my Uncle Pat and my dad were the greatest conversations I've ever heard in my life. They were so incredibly, because they get high and just like talk about politics, whatever. And they were funny as fuck. But my whole family in Panama City Beach basically died. My grandma died. My Uncle Pat died. Angie died. So the family that I had there completely. These are my memories of Panama City Beach. The town from The Truman Show, if you've ever seen the movie The Truman Show with Jim Carrey, that's another recurring theme this week. Jim Carrey, our spiritual leader and guru. Jim Carrey of Ace Ventura, Pet Detective fame. The film The Truman Show, which was like my favorite movie in 1997 when I was 12. Because I love Jim Carrey. But that movie really predicted the whole fucking like reality show, iPhone, fucking Instagram shit. And, Jim Carrey was smart to do that script. He didn't just keep doing The Cable Guy. I watched The Cable Guy the other day on YouTube. That was another one of my favorite movies when I was 12. And it really held up. It's an excellent movie. It's directed by Ben Stiller. It has an aesthetic. It really has a look and a... Kiwi Mountain says, good film. The Truman Show. So the town from The Truman Show is like, I don't know, not far from Panama City Beach. If you can believe that. And so as a kid, we'd go to Panama City Beach, and then one time we did a little day trip to I think it's called, the fuck is it called? Sunset, or I don't remember. What the fuck is it called? It's this weird, like, little yuppie town. Like, you wouldn't expect in, like, this hillbilly. The panhandle of Florida is known as the Redneck Riviera because Hank Williams Jr. lives there. It's basically Floribama Shore, whatever that fucking show was. That's my family, Floribama Shore.
I think I have a different.
No, it was something like that.
Yeah,
I think it was like, Floribama. Can you look it up?
Oh, it's Floribama.
It's Floribama Shore, okay? Yeah, that's my family, basically. That kind of Mobile hillbilly beachfront. Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan's like in Tampa. That's like the inner panhandle. But the golf side is the real trashy side. But the Truman Show town is there somehow. It's like this yuppie kind of prefabricated... Let's put that on the live stream. Yeah, if you have any good social media memes or anything, I'm trying to... I need to move into memes, apparently. Apparently, memes are like the lingua franca. They're like the most cutting edge form of communication. They're not. See, I'm getting conflicting versions. I'm getting like the Brooklyn version of what's cool, and I'm getting like the uptown like Gossip Girl fucking version.
I'm not even uptown Gossip Girl.
I think you are. I think you're like prep school. Like all your friends have like prep school aspirations. Whereas like Brooklyn people want to be, I don't know, on Pitchfork or Fader or whatever the fuck. Fantano. Do you watch Fantano, Kiwi Mountain? Do you watch Fantano music reviews or do you watch Pitchfork? System Lord album got
I care
a.
about music reviews.
You don't read Pitchfork like it's the Bible, like every
No.
other fucking person who's a fucking millennial. I hate Pitchfork. I,
hate
just want to go on the record. I never
think
read it.
Pitchfork sucks.
I think they were revisionists and like they were more popular than the actual goddamn musicians. And that's sad. Like more people read Pitchfork and listened to fucking Bonnie Prince Billy and shit like that. Like I'm all for Bonnie Prince Billy, but come on. Give me Silver Jews, man. David Berman, we need you. We need you now more than ever. We survived, okay? We're thriving in the Biden era here in Manhattan. Music is for old people. We have audio and video now. Kiwi Mountain has spoken. We have live streaming. Music is for fucking old people. We have Lana Del Rey, for Christ's sake. We have sound and vision.
Pitchfork is for old people.
We have visions and noise. Pitchfork is for old people, says Gen Z influencer, tastemaker, Ashley. Our intern. She's the Scenes from Life intern. She handles all of the important. She's the brains. She hips me to the slang. It's giving fuck around and find out. I styled Ashley's wardrobe yesterday. I'm her personal stylist. And do you listen to Fiddler, Kiwi Mountain? Oh, but music is for old people, Ashley.
Mhm.
So why are we listening to music all the time? We're listening to the Arcade Fire, for crying out loud. I like really old people music. I like the Kinks. I don't even listen to like I'm with Eddie. Anything after 1983, I hate. I hate anything after 1983. I think things have gone off course in our super capitalist. Everything's financialized. Only Dylan is good. Kiwi Mountain, I'm with you. Only Dylan is good. You're absolutely right. Fuck everything else. Since Jerry died, only Dylan is good. Only Dylan is God.
Tall boys for this.
Ashley needs a tall boy. Can somebody hook that up? Come on. Bring us a tall boy. We'll send you.
There was a guy named at Bennington. We called him Coke Boy because he always. No, he.
You want to dox Coke Boy?
No, he always had like a huge like. What are those things?
Tall
called?
Boy would be a good nickname.
He had like a huge, tall like what do you call those?
Bag of Coke.
No. What are those like mini refrigerators called? I'm blanking. Like
mini fridges. I think that's adequate.
No, like
there's a name.
No, like portable ones that you can.
A cooler.
Yeah, he'd always have a cooler with him. So like we'd be sitting at a different house and we'd be like, "Yo, can you like bring us like some Coke?" Like,
okay,
like the drink.
All right, I see.
And
that's a lot more innocent than I expected from Bennington. With some Coke.
He'd come by.
Your Coke boy.
At like 2 a.m. We could be like, "Yo, Coke boy, get us some Coke."
He would bring you Coke at 2 a.m. in his cooler.
Yeah.
I'm glad we can talk about this on YouTube and they can't. This is all legal, okay? Try and fucking censor us. You cannot do it. You cannot do it. We're going to tell the truth about the vaccines and Fauci and all of it, okay? We're getting into the fucking deep state on this live stream, and YouTube is not going to ban us. They've already shadow banned us.
Cannonball should be on.
I've been super shadow banned. That's why I never have any viewers. That's why I'm huge in Norway, obviously. I've got a huge fan base in Norway. And, we are bridging. This is an international live stream. You know what I mean? We're like,
tell everyone you're live. We're
all over the world. We're beaming live currently all over the world. We're live on Ashley's Instagram. Jim Carrey, spiritual leader. Norway loves us. We love Kiwi Mountain. I'm currently homeless, or I'm couch surfing. That's why we're live from Ashley's bedroom. and in Upper Manhattan, right by Central Park. We're on Central Park West, everybody. I mean, we're live from Central Park West. It doesn't get any swank. Well, no, we're not exactly doxing. We haven't given any specific. It's, doxing is love. Come on out. Say hello. Get it. We'll put you on the live stream. We'll give you a hug.
Bring a tall boy.
Oh yeah, I'm staying in New York. I am.
No, you should vote him out.
I'm Mr. New York.
Go back to Ohio.
I can't. Ohio. I'm too big for Ohio. Oh no, I can't say that on the internet. No, I mean, there's the important business needs to be done. We're doing it. As long we're digging, we keep digging. Okay, we're in the middle of shedding. We're wood shedding. That's what this is about. It's never ending, the wood shedding. And we're live every week. We hope you've been watching Open Mic every week. We've got a platform for a lot of artists. We're energizing a lot of people. The movement is growing. Okay. We're making these connections. People are starting their own open mics. They're booking their own shows. They're starting magazines. Lonesome Magazine, Monique, amazing, right? They're, doing readings in people's apartments, doing readings on rooftops on the Lower East Side, doing readings in Brooklyn rooftops, doing readings on the train. Okay. This is something we really need to do. We need to get on that subway train and just get up and read your poems on the train. They can't stop you. They're bored. People are bored. They need entertainment. You're entertainers. Get on the fucking train and entertain these people while they're traveling. Everybody's I'm uptown. I'm in fucking Midwood. I'm in Long Island City. I need entertainment while I'm taking the Q train or the 1 train or the A train or the D train. Happy Steak and a Blowjob Day, by the way. Do you celebrate in Norway, Kiwi Mountain? Were you aware it's Steak and Blowjob Day? I'm pretty sure Don Draper, even he has more tact than that. Who invented Steak and Blowjob Day? Can we get that's got to be Australian or something. We're celebrating at Outback Steakhouse. Yeah, I actually had heard of it, but this feels like some kind of college humor thing. Cute calendar. Founded because Valentine's. Yeah, that's exactly what I said. I knew it was some kind of reactionary men's rights bullshit about Valentine's Day. I knew it. I knew I shouldn't have celebrated this or even mentioned it. It's such a sexist, misogynistic, stupid, obvious thing. When is seafood and rim job day? That's what I want to know. To all who celebrate. Happy, anyway, good luck. If anybody out there wants to try to set that up for themselves. I don't know. I'm not sure how many people actually celebrate. And I don't think that's really, there's no cards. You can't buy cards for that day. Hallmark doesn't make steak and a blowjob cards that I'm aware of. But I could be wrong. You probably get them off the internet, I guess. The internet. Or you make your own. Maybe it's that kind of, it means more when you just make your own. Well, we've got 2 viewers. We're here. We're live. We're talking about Jim Carrey. And hopefully you're following his wisdom.
That's what Laura
and how
said. Free the nipple.
Free the nipple. Everybody. Do you agree? I agree. I mean, it's about time.
That's his hand, LMFAO.
Oh, we can't have nipples on the live stream, unfortunately. Well, I could take my shirt off. See, that's why YouTube is sexist, I guess. And Instagram too. Won't Instagram ban your posts if there's a nipple? Is that or did they finally fix that law? So yeah, we did the open mic on Monday. I thought it was pretty good. Next Monday is our I'm with Kiwi Mountain. We don't need to take our clothes off. This is not OnlyFans, okay? If you want to see nipple, you gotta have to subscribe to my OnlyFans. All right. And that's fine. You can do that for just a low monthly price. But yeah, this Monday is the 6-month open mic anniversary.
Ooh, Martyrs like dropped the YouTube link.
Yeah, Martyr. We got to get Martyr Complex on here. 6-month open mic anniversary. It's black tie. It's strictly formal. I want everybody dressed up for
Lorenzo
this.
said, "What kind of life the world needs to know."
So are we gonna? Can we turn off the fiddler
Yeah.
just so that's? I don't want to be have that copyrighted material in my content.
You don't want music in your...
I can't monetize my live stream if I have this copyrighted material. I'm gonna get blocked in certain countries from the YouTube censors. I mean, YouTube is becoming China. What is this, TikTok? I mean,
You're about to get more viewers.
no, I'm just kidding, of course. Are we on TikTok? What are your guys' feelings
You're
about
to get more
Oh, I've got more
viewers.
viewers coming in.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Thank you for watching. We're live once again. Strictly black tie next Monday at the open mic. Everybody's going to be dressed to the nines. I'll be wearing my white tie and my tails. I'm giving it to you guys. I've got my white tie and my tails. Yeah, this is a great way for us to connect on the information superhighway. You can play Mortal Kombat with a friend in Vietnam on the information superhighway. We're riding it, guys, all night long. Like this.
This topper should change.
What do you guys think? Let's have the internet. Yeah, it's good. And I got to go to the Apple store. Here we go. Martyr Complex. Like the link that you sent. Shout out to Martyr Complex, our cool friend who we met at the Hunter College Open Studios, the social event of the season. I guess they have a great fine arts program. Is that true?
Mm-hmm.
This is my SCAD vlog, year 1 art school vlog, year 1 MFA vlog. This morning I woke up, I got an oat milk latte and put on my Ugg boots. I don't know. Went to class. My workshop, everybody was mean. I am wearing my Red Scare Machiavelli shirt in the Zoom meeting with the libtard therapist. I'm a libtard. I just want to go on the record and let everybody know I am a libtard. I double mask in the Trader Joe's. And in fact, I'm such a libtard, I won't even use that term because it's offensive to me. Okay? I will not say the word tard.
I'm saluting you, brave vloggers.
Thank you. It's not easy out here in the vlogosphere, okay? I've been vlogging hard since 2020. And look at me. I have nothing to show for it. I have, the weird thing is people respond in person. When I meet people and they meet me in person and then they subscribe to my YouTube, they're like, "Oh yeah, the vlog. We're watching it." And yet YouTube shadow bans me and YouTube buries me in the algorithm. I hate the algorithm. Just because I have no production value and use consumer grade camera and microphone equipment, YouTube buries me. And because of my controversial opinions about Fauci and the virus and masks. No, I'm joking, of course. Those people are insane. I'm not Alex Jones. I'm the opposite. I'm the voice of reason. I should have as many viewers as Club Random with fucking Bill Maher, for Christ's sake. Does anybody watch Club Random with Bill Maher? We've got Ashley. And I want to say I want to comment. It's the finance stand-up comedian pipeline. There's a lot, especially in New York. Tim Dillon, right? Tim Dillon, I think, was some kind of finance. Oh my God, I've got 3 viewers. This is too much excitement. Our Nielsen ratings are going through the roof here. Yeah, open mic anniversary next Monday, 6 months. We've only missed 1 week, and that includes Christmas and New Year's. We performed December 26th and January 2nd. So we have gone every week except one since September 19th. That is 6 months hard, going hard, and we will be celebrating hard on Monday. Wear your black tie, wear your formal wear. Wear your gowns. Go to Bergdorf's, buy a gown. Get a gown by Adrian. Trust me, okay? Treat yourself. Get something nice. You're going to want to look nice, okay? Everyone, it's the social event. We're going to have a red carpet. And we'll do some photographs.
Do you want to see what I'm gonna wear?
It's gonna be great for social media. Let's see what Ashley's gonna wear to the social event of the season. This is the hottest. Oh, she's gonna wear like sort of a Wednesday Addams type ensemble. Beautiful. See, this is serious. This is, you can't just be a slob. I mean, I think, people generally look nice at the open mic, but this is a special, really blowout. It's going to be a blowout. Okay. So Ashley is going to read, I imagine, probably. Do you have anything special planned for the 6-month microversary?
I don't know, read poems.
Read poems. That's as good as it gets, people. I mean, we're so lucky and thankful to have so many great poets coming and consecrating the space every week and ritualizing. And the portal opens, right? As Matthew Silver said on Monday, it's a portal. The portal opens at 9:00, and all of this consciousness entertainment vortexes around you, and you're in the wormhole, and it's like on fucking Star Wars when you're in hyperdrive. You're in hyperspace. You're in hyperspace from 8 p.m. until 1 a.m. And then we cut you off. The drugs, the morphine feed, we rip it out, and you have to wait. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, we all have to. I mean, I wish the open mic could go on all week. Let's just have a 24/7 open mic. I'm going to open a bar called Open Mic Bar.
No.
And literally there will just be a microphone, and you can come anytime and do whatever the fuck you want at any time. There will just be a list. The walls will just be a list at the Open Mic Bar. And I will own the Open Mic Bar. And we will serve. No, I mean, that's kind of a funny idea, right? Well, one of my dreams is I want to have a venue, bookstore, coffee shop. That's like one of my life dreams. That's, most. Yeah, like PNT. I haven't been there yet, actually. Maybe we should go today. Yeah, we'll go today, and we'll pod. We should have gone live from there. But anyway, we're live now, and we're loving it. We love wherever we are and what we're doing. And we're celebrating life and the gifts that God gives us. Non-denominational God. Just the Great Spirit, not any kind of particular male, heteronormative, white people God with a capital H. Jehovah.
Oh, there's a whole podcast studio.
So yeah, the open mic, you're looking at PNT Knitwear. So yeah, one of my life dreams is to have like a venue like Cafe Kerouac in Columbus, Ohio. One of the great venues of the United States. Cafe Kerouac, where they have a coffee shop bar, they sell books, and they have a nice little stage with
let's go to PNT Knitwear.
They can do readings. Oh, Ashley is hyped on PNT Knitwear for some reason. She wants coffee.
Look, they have a bergamot juniper latte.
She is hyped on PNT Knitwear. I'd like to check it out. I've never been. I've heard things.
There.
Kiwi Mountain says, "You sure are a dreamer, dude. Thank you. You got to dream big, right? That's what we were taught in our Disney-fied culture. When you wish upon a star."
Disney.
And I think Lana Del Rey is like a demented Disney princess presence. That's why. But yeah, dreaming big. What does the Persian poet say? Dream until it's your reality. The sidewalks of New York are covered in bad poetry. You want to talk about bad poetry? That's bad poetry. I mean, dream until it's your reality. That's not even poetry. That's like motivational sloganeering, which is what a lot of people write. And I don't know. There's a place for that, I suppose. we need slogans to motivate us, like just do it, or no pain, no gain, or you snooze, you lose, or grip it and rip it, or, there's a million of them. Oh, we lost a viewer. We lost a viewer. Did I say something controversial? Oh, I'm too fucking controversial. People can't handle my the woke mob. No, I'm just kidding. I don't like how woke has become like a dismissive term. People just bandy it around like, oh, that's like woke. And it's like, I don't know, the impulse behind, and the it's important, and we need to be woke, okay? We need to be. Kiwi Mountain says, I'm a dreamer too, but am I ever going to get anywhere with my dreams is the question. That's the question we're all wondering. We're all asking. Ever make any money? I think it's, you build it and they will come, from small things, big things one day will come. And we live in a crazy society that rich people pirate and steal everything. So it's harder than ever to break through because they own all the gatekeeping. They're the gatekeepers, okay? And they only let their children in. And that's fine. But there needs to be a place for talent and ingenuity and hard work, right? That's the American way. And people want to shit on America, and America sucks, and it's a crime, and it's a corporation, and it's a theft. It's grand theft. And it's a massacre, okay? But I don't know. I'd like to get insanely wealthy. Mo David is on the stream. We've got Mo David, everybody. The great Mo David. Thank you for watching. Thanks for tuning in. We're talking to Kiwi Mountain in Norway. We're live from Ashley's house.
Oh my God.
We're doxing everybody. We're talking about oh my God, there's 4 people watching. Jesus Christ. Now something important has to happen. Uh-oh. This is too much pressure. Lee Moore is on.
Oh my God.
Hell yes. Lee Moore, we love you. Thank you for watching. Ashley, what are you doing? She's just, right,
Chilling on my bed.
surfing the information superhighway, surfing the web.
Oh my God.
Chilling. We're just chilling, we're live streaming. I'm a small business owner, so I'm trying to run my small business here, and this is a conference about well, we're talking about, okay, you guys are the poets of New York. We've been doing these other these open mics. Exactly. This is a summit. So people are starting open mics. We did this open mic at TVI last Wednesday. It was phenomenal. Started by Debasery, the great Debasery, and that was exciting. And then people are having readings at their houses. And so we're just trying to brainstorm and keep meeting up and keep ideas coming. We had a summit last night with Philip Marinovich. If you're out there watching, there you go. Jonathan is part owner of TVI. Ah, nice. It was a great place to do a reading, honestly. That back room is super cool.
Ian missed you on Monday. He came in, looked for you, and left.
We miss you. We hope you're having a great time. But we need you. It's a 6-month open mic anniversary next Monday, by the way. It's strictly black tie. Formal wear only. We want people dressed to the nines. It's going to be swanky, and it's going to be really a special soiree. It's going to be, I think I want to do a prom show. I want to do like a theme, maybe do like the open mic prom and like
no, don't do that.
In May.
That's cringe.
It's cringe.
Don't do that. I've never went to a prom. Don't do that.
I just want people to dress nicely. That's all I want. It's just
prom
one way.
It's just to dress nice.
Well, what should I call it then? Maybe it'll be the Gossip Girl prom theme.
No proms.
Okay. Somebody suggested that on Instagram. Troll
What
prom.
did you
There
do
you
instead
go.
of prom? I dropped out of high school. Went to Bennington.
Ashley dropped out of high school. I mean, okay. Well, what did they do at Bennington to dress up when they wanted everybody to look nice? How did they trick them into
You
doing
can call it like a deb ball, like debutante ball.
Debutante ball. Okay, fine. We'll call it a debutante ball. The open mic debutante ball. Yeah, maybe we'll do a naked open mic. That'd be a crazy
dress to get laid.
The dress to get laid open mic. That's a little. If I put that in the poster, it wouldn't be a good look, I don't think. But we'll see. We'll figure it out. Anyway, it's the 6-month. Oh yes, it's the 6-month open mic anniversary. Bennington must be crazy. Everybody thinks it's just crazy. I guess I have to go.
No, you don't. You have Bennington here. You know me.
Okay.
You want to go somewhere that's me times 1,000?
Well, I don't know when you put it that way. I'm curious what it's like, I guess. It seems like kind of a weird outpost in kind of a distinct place in the whole country, maybe.
Lee Moore, are you ticklish?
Is anybody in the comments ticklish? Lee Moore says she's ticklish on her feet. Yeah.
Let's see if you're ticklish.
Ashley's been trying to tickle me, and it doesn't really work. I mean, it kind of works. I don't know. I think tickling is evasive. This is all right. Yeah, it's tickling day. I don't know. Adult men hate being tickled.
Do you hate being tickled?
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Lee Moore, did you celebrate steak and blowjob day?
It was steak and blowjob day apparently yesterday. I don't know who invented this holiday. Ashley is really a huge proponent of it. She's been mentioning it a lot. She's bringing it up a lot.
Matt celebrated.
I always celebrate every year. How was it?
I don't know. How was it, Matt?
I don't know. We'll see. Maybe next year.
How was your day, Matt?
It was fine. It was fine. I didn't have steak. There was no steak. I went to a poetry class. And then afterwards, we had a nice drink at the bar. It was nice. It was a nice day. But I think it's a sexist holiday, personally. Yeah, ask Lorena Bobbitt. Good reference, singing giraffe.
Who's singing giraffe?
John Wayne Bobbitt. They're from Ohio.
Who's singing giraffe?
I don't remember. You don't need to dox people. They're in the comments. If they want to reveal who they are, they can reveal who they are. You don't have to worry about who everybody is.
I'm just wondering if you know who that is.
No, I don't know who, but it doesn't matter. They're welcome, and we're happy to have them.
A ghost.
All right, sweet.
All
of our ancestors are here right now. All of the generations are present.
You're taking Philip's life.
Well, I'm just spreading the wisdom. Philip Marinovich said that.
Imagine if Philip was watching this.
He might be. We don't know.
Hi, Philip. Maybe that's.
He might watch it later. And okay, well, this is awkward as fuck. Do you guys listen to Fiddler? Yeah, you read a poem, Ashley.
Give us a poem.
Yeah. Go for it.
A poem. Well, I wrote this in Eddie's class. What is that?
She's getting her stuff.
Oh my god. I wrote this in Eddie's class. The opposite of tickle is steak. And I only know it in fragments.
There you go. Wonderful. You guys do postcards? We're doing postcard poems in the class. So it's a fun kind of thing to write a poem on a postcard.
Eddie loves postcards.
Yeah, they're great. Anywhere you go, you get a postcard.
Mm-hmm.
And
this is my favorite poem by Eddie Berrigan. Poem. I was pregnant with Eddie. Where were you? I was in England. You had to really punch through. The machine wasn't friendly. I've always had it on the wall with a little cup on the back. The house I lived in until I was 4 years old. I was really happy when I was 4. Physiological senses I didn't understand. He was really good at finding used English. I could see where there were holes and I would fill them. I went there to be a fiction writer. I wrote a set of limitations. I could never tell the middle of jokes. Eddie.
That's right.
Tickle versus steak. That's a thing.
Yeah. There you go. Which poem is that?
Poem.
Oh, okay. Nice. Cool.
Nice.
Yeah, I used English. In Costa Rica, I hung out with a guy all week who didn't finish jokes. Wow. That's frustrating. But he would start jokes. Was he a stand-up comedian? Was he a ventriloquist? It's charming when people tell jokes.
Oh, that's like Ben Anastas in that.
Oh, really?
In that the short story he read. He was like, he would set up this scene and be like, you know the rest.
Oh, right.
How do you feel about that story?
The pornography story. I mean,
what was the limit for like the pages? I literally sent everyone like a 23-page story last night at 4 a.m. in the morning.
I don't know. She's talking about her workshop. Do they have a page limit? Probably 15 pages, maybe.
Do you want to go to the Dare Frequencies thing tomorrow?
What is that?
You know that song's like, I like the girls who do drugs, the girls with cigarettes at the back of the club. That guy.
Oh, okay.
He's doing like a free thing
okay.
Tomorrow at 10. We should go.
On Christie Street.
Mm-hmm.
But we are online.
I'm in the club while you're online, that guy.
I know, but we're actually online now. You know what I mean?
But we'll be in the club tomorrow.
But we're online right now.
Ooh.
All right. Thanks for watching. Lee Moore. See you soon.
See you soon.
Thank you. John Laurie. Were you going out with John Laurie? Were you hanging out with John Laurie? In Costa Rica? So you're in Costa Rica. That's exciting. That's super fun. Good for you. This is the time. It's freaking cold here and windy. And I would like to leave. I'd like to go to LA right now if I could. If I could get money.
Don't go to LA.
I'd go to LA right now.
It's our 5-month friendiversary.
Oh, that's right. Our 5-month friendiversary. I met Ashley on October 19th, 2022. And so it's our 5-month friendiversary. What the fuck? In 4 days. Oh, Lee Moore's back in Manhattan. All right. We'll see you soon. Yeah, so it's a lot of exciting anniversaries coming up. That's right. Yeah, my friend has an open mic in we should take the open mic on tour. That's my dream. Is like how do we take an open mic on tour and just bring it to your town? Every town we can go to every town, give people a chance to perform on the Easy Paradise open mic. I don't know. That's a possibility, you know. I'm a small business owner, so I'm constantly
No, you're just a
brainstorming.
toddler on an iPad.
I am a toddler on an iPad too. I've got an iPad now. So it's around here somewhere. Well, I don't have a phone, so I'm conducting all my business on an iPad for my small business. But rise and grind. See, exactly. The entrepreneurs. We have to work every day. We can't just lounge around like these MFA students who have everything handed to them on a silver platter. I have to be out there signing people up, making flyers, making posts, making content, live streaming, vlogging, going to open mics. Exactly. Mo David gets it.
It's vlogging, not vlogging.
The other open mic hosts are out there right now. They're trying to poach your talent. They're trying to eat into your customer base. Do they have a better product? Do they have a better brand? This is New York City, okay? Ashley's got all these stuffed animals for some reason. Exactly. Do they have headset microphones? Do they have Kuzu Daddy?
Oh my God.
They don't have the production value. They don't have Hank Kingsley. They don't have Ashley. They don't have the great talent that we have on Monday nights. Oh my God. I mean, come on. They don't have Mo David. They don't have Lee Moore. Those are exclusive. No, people can branch out. They can do whatever they want. I mean, I think the open mic biome is like nurturing. You know, like there's no competition. It's beautiful for people to be creative and to perform. And the more people that are doing that, the better. The more avenues and venues, especially places that are actually cool and like organic and not just like some kind of weird hustle, like a lot of stuff in New York can be. But I don't know. I go to open mics in every town I go to. Anytime I'm on vacation, I think it's a great way to just plug in and meet people and like what a cool. I'd like to, I mean, I'm joking about small business, but like that could be a potential goal. Is like I'd like to do this 3 or 4 nights a week if I could. I'd like to set up a number of different things and different parts of town and have different people. It'd be nice to do one uptown. I mean, these Columbia kids, where are they going to read? The people in, who live up here in Morningside Heights. They need an open mic. I don't know, but yeah, it's Jim Carrey week here. We're talking about, I don't know. I watched The Cable Guy. Has anybody watched that recently? There's a lot of comedic talent that would go on to be really famous in that movie and supporting roles. Owen Wilson is in it. Jack Black is in it. Andy Dick is in it. Janine Garofalo's in it. Do we have any Janine Garofalo fans out there? I've never had to get guests in the live stream, so I'm kind of yeah, it's on YouTube for free. YouTube's got a lot of great free movies, believe it or not. I mean, now that I'm couch surfing, YouTube is like the continuity of my life. So anywhere I go, yeah, exactly. YouTube is the underground. But see, I'm shadow banned, you know? YouTube videos with like 30 views are like the cutting edge, I think. That's the underground. The people who know, because you can put anything on YouTube. You know, there's no barriers. There's no yeah, exactly. If you're not shadow banned, then like you're just part of the problem. You're part of the machine. You're complicit. You know, if you're shadow banned, it's because you're a truth teller and because you're interesting and like you're too much of a freedom it's like Bob Marley, you know, it's like they had to shut him down. He was too powerful, you know. And so, you know, if you got less than 50 views on your videos, then like you're probably not a cop. It's like that's probably a pretty good and I don't know. I put a lot of shit on YouTube. I hope people it's like, you know, you basically have your own Disney Plus or like uh you can put your whole fictional universe on YouTube. And it's you can put I can put a 4-hour video of an open mic on YouTube every week. Like that is a content library that really well, like we were talking about in the class yesterday. He mentioned these people in Pensacola do a literary magazine that's like on YouTube, right? They like film you and rather than publish it, you know, they in effect publish it to YouTube. That's the way that I look at the videos of the open mic. It's like I've got all these poets. It's faster than a magazine and it's bigger than a magazine. You know, if I did a magazine, I'd have to edit a lot of it out. This, it's like an Air magazine. You can watch it from your phone anywhere. You know, we were watching on the fucking subway platform last night. You know, we're watching the open mic on Second Avenue subway platform, waiting for the F train. I'm looking at Kuzu Daddy and Amanda and Moo. Yeah, there you go. Mo David, the last good use of the internet is sharing art without permission and posting your dinner. Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's a gallery. It's you kind of I don't know if people take that stuff for granted, but like, you know, 50 years ago it was like there were 3 TV stations. That was the only way to distribute. You know, there was a tangibility to distribution that like we don't have to deal with at all. I can literally I don't even have a tape in the camera. The camera's got its own hard drive. I put it on YouTube. You know, by the next morning, people all over the world can see Kuzu Daddy at the open mic or Luke Urberman or the great, you know, all the great artists we have. And it is like a library of performances and artists and works. And I don't know. I think I put Easy Paradise on YouTube. That was in 2018 when I did an actual literary magazine, an actual poetry magazine, like Perfect Bound. I had the poet's voice memo, them reading and send it to me, and I made a tape. I made a mixtape of that, and then I put the tape on YouTube as well. So you could literally listen to the magazine like a podcast, you know, wherever you are. I mean, part of that is just like kind of a convenience issue because, like, I know for me, I've had a lot of hard drives and shit that have died. Most of my data, right, has been lost. Computers die, hard drives die. YouTube is forever. You put something fucking on YouTube, I basically use it as an external hard drive. You know, like those open mics are 6 gigabytes a piece. I can put them on YouTube and I don't have to, it doesn't take up any space on my fucking, I don't have a server or anything, you know. I'm not that successful of a small business owner. I'm building, you know what I mean? And yeah, so I think YouTube is an exciting venue for artists, performers, you know, and like, I mean, that's why I do the live streams. It's like, I would love to have this much stage time, right? I'd love to be able to go up on a stage somewhere downtown and just talk for 2 hours, but that's like pretty hard to come by unless you're fucking Jerry Seinfeld or Colin Quinn or something. You know, no one is going to give you that much stage time, really. The open mic, it's like I try to get as much as I can into like the first 10 minutes or whatever, the first 8 minutes when I go up and do sort of my like monologue or whatever. But then it's like, it's hard to get a lot of experience, right? On stage in front of people. Whereas like YouTube, there's a potential there for a bigger audience and you can just do as much as you want, you know, like, and you can just riff. And I think as a mode of composition too, like poets are very interesting speakers a lot of the time, or like what poets do is close to speech, especially if you're reading in public and like uh you know, just fine tuning your own kind of verbal skills, your own kind of literary skills to the point that you're constantly like defining things, articulating things. I think doing it extemporaneously is kind of, it's something more poets should explore. I think it's a fun mode of composition, and it's like an improvised oral poem. You can talk about whatever you know, and then you kind of collage it together. Oh yeah, definitely. Like you never know what is going to come out. Yeah, it is like journaling. Yeah. I maybe that's like cringe. I don't know. There's probably parts of it that are meandering and uh maybe not completely as interesting to listen to, but I don't know. I find that I can cover a lot of ground and I can like Mo David says cringe doesn't matter. I like that. Yeah. I'm not worried about being cringe, I guess. I mean, hell no. Like I just I'm more focused on like supporting people, you know? Like I think it's more important to like, you know, like not everybody necessarily is going to be, but you know what? Like I don't even necessarily think talent is as much of a like physical reality as people think it is. The difference between somebody that's like extremely talented and somebody who's like very talented is not, I don't know. I don't know. To me it's like they're both worth seeing in a way. I've seen a lot of people who are quote unquote open mic performers who I would much rather see and who I respect a lot more as artists than a lot of people who are yeah, exactly. Being supportive and authentic is infinitely more important than being cool. I mean, yeah, it's like I think it's just good for people to be making things and to be taking their own creativity to an active place and like making it real in the world. And performing in front of people is courageous. And it's a, to be honest, it's a bold way to like say that you exist as an artist. It, you know, it's scary to get in front of people, especially 40 or 50 people. I mean, how often does your average person do that? Not very often. You know, maybe if they're a teacher or something. But like as far as a way of making yourself real as an artist, I think doing open mics or just booking things and getting on stage, publishing your own books, it makes you have that dimension to your identity. that is real, you know, like you are a poet. You fucking write, you go to open mics, you are a filmmaker, you make vlogs or whatever. Like our society is obsessed with like credentials and corporate influence over the arts, to be honest. And so they want to take being entertaining, interesting is important if you want an audience. Cringe makes people tune out, then they can't hear what you say after that, says Kiwi Mountain. Counterpoint. To me, a lot, you know, the shit that people think is interesting, I find insane. I was watching this guy's special. What was his name? It was on YouTube. Fuck, I forget what his name is, but he's a comedian. The first joke he tells is about, it's like he's doing crowd work. It was just stupid. It was stupid as fuck. And I'm like, this has 100,000 views. Mo David, I'd say being tuned out is a blessing sometimes. Fantastic. See, that's poet mind. You know, I think that is true, to be honest. Like the audience is fucking nuts. If the audience is laughing at this guy making this joke, his joke was like some about the woman in the front row was Mexican. So he's like, "Oh, you got to pull out and then you come on their back and then they're like wetbacks." And it's like, I can't believe this guy's telling this fucking joke and people are laughing at this. Like that shit is hateful and stupid. And like, okay, it's got hundreds of thousands of views on YouTube, but like, so fucking what? I mean, people eat McDonald's, you know, like I don't know. Like, I think the poets are doing something important because of this thing that we're saying. It's like they're kind of they remain like devoted to their worldview and to defining things and to processing their experience in a way that's like very like human sized. You know, not everything has to be some kind of big audience, big crowd pleasing thing. You know, like sometimes if you write a poem that's just sort of like incidental to whatever your day was or something, it's like that is more important in a certain way. It doesn't look like it has any cultural force, but in a certain way, that's like reinforcing and undergirding. If there's enough people doing that and enough people like tuning into their own, yeah, exactly. It's like unless you have an audience, unless you get likes, unless you have a following, people just think you're not real. People think it's like you're an amateur or it's a hobby. I mean, especially in like everything is motivated by capitalism and fucking making money and selling things and getting as big of an audience as you can. Now, I would love to have a fucking huge audience. I'm definitely not trying to like have nobody watch my goddamn live streams. But I don't know, like I if I don't even know how to get people to I feel like if the things that I don't know how to get people to like what I do, to be honest. I just don't know. I do what I think is good, you know? Yeah, right. Mo David says, I think an audience is different from my audience. Yeah, that is true. I think like that's one thing I've realized from doing these open mics and doing live shows is like, okay, you send your stuff to magazines, it gets rejected or not published or whatever, or you get rejected from institutions or whatever. But if you make your own way and if you put your stuff out there, if you put yourself in front of people, you'd be surprised who it resonates with. And you'd be surprised. And to be honest, that is how human beings have always worked. It hasn't always been like this fucking like, I need 10,000 people in the stadium. It's like if you have, you know, if you do a live show and you perform for 50 people, like you're all there. You're all in person. You're all like actually involved. it isn't quite as like you're just one of 10,000 people. It's like it's as real to anybody in the room and it's as memorable to anybody in the room as some kind of big entertainment kind of conglomerate spectacle. And like I think people our culture like trains us to focus on these celebrities like Beyonce or big names, but it's like the culture does exist on a local level. There are bands everywhere, there are poets everywhere, there are comedians everywhere, there are filmmakers. They might not be famous, their books might not have 100,000 copies in print, but like uh it I don't know. There should be more things in our culture to support that economy. The economy of small presses, right? I mean, this is especially poetry because I think poetry is one of the things where like of all the mediums, it's the one where like the practitioners give the least of like they're going to do their thing. There's not really an expectation of a huge audience in poetry. It's like and so it exists as like small magazines. You start your own magazine, you publish your friends, you distribute it to your friends. That's the economy of poetry. It's small press distribution. It's not Random House or some kind of big mass media thing. It's but we're blinded. We think that that's the real stuff. We think Penguin is like these are the giant legitimate poets or whatever, but it's like I want to exist more in this place where it's like these people I know we're peers, we're trading like our points of view. We're trading our works rather than like we're supplicating to some kind of like god of like success or something. Uh Little clubs, small clubs, like bands blow up and they get to play big arenas and stuff, but like to be honest, performing in a small room is exciting. I don't know. There's a focus there, there's an intimacy there. People can actually see you. They probably get more of the nuance. Maybe they're more up close. They can practically feel you breathe. And I think that's exciting as an artist to like exist in those places and to travel through those places. I'd love to be able to go on tour and like even playing small places. If you could find a way to make that sustainable, like I'm joking about being a small business owner, but this is probably like the prime problem that I see in our fucking society. And like even in New York, like in this neighborhood we're in right now, there's actually a lot of like small restaurants that are like ethnic, probably started by immigrants or something. Like there was like this Caribbean food place. There's like a curry place. There's a couple curry places. There's a Vietnamese place. There's a lot of options and they're affordable. They're small businesses. People can move here. They can start businesses and they can have social mobility. They can build wealth that way. Most of our culture, including New York City now, is corporations, big, Starbucks, CVS Pharmacy, fast food, Chipotle, Target, whatever. I mean, Amazon, of course. And, New York was sort of like famously the holdout against the kind of corporate monoculture and the homogenized kind of interstate off ramp culture of just like fast food brands and brand name awareness. Is something that like we've been obsessed with for the last 20 years, the idea of branding and all this kind of stuff. And it's like small businesses have a kind of signature and a kind of thumbprint and a kind of individuality. They have a character that really adds flavor and adds like spice to experience. going to the same fucking Chipotle every goddamn place you go, whether it's Iowa or New York or California, causes kind of a blandification, and it dehumanizes people. It causes people to have to be a part of some kind of like machine that are, they have to wear the uniform. They have to learn the kind of protocol of like the assembly line of how they do it at every fucking Target or Chipotle or McDonald's or whatever. Whereas like you own a small business, you can pour your ideas into that. It's like a creative project. You design the name, you design the logo, you make the food, you decide on the menu, you decorate it how you want. Like these are things that give people kind of dignity. These are things that give people kind of like agency and make them an active part of their own lives. I mean, I think we have a ruling class that doesn't want that. They want the lower classes to just sort of collapse and disintegrate, and they don't care. But it would make a more interesting world if people were allowed to kind of like realize their individuality or their expression and make money doing it, right? Rather than just like get a job at some kind of bigger machine or something that's just they're just going to be a part of something that they just need to fit into. And so with literature and things, there's like a stigma against self-publishing, or I mean, even doing open mics, maybe. It's definitely not like it's probably not looked on the same thing as like you're getting booked or, people are asking you to come. But at the same time, like that's what we're fighting against. We're fighting against only a certain amount of people are allowed to be artists and everybody else has to become just some kind of zombie drone worker or whatever for the man or whatever. And people writing their own poetry, really tuning into their own experience, really defining it and thinking about it and being creative with it and inventive with it. Poetry is like the perfect kind of like laboratory to experiment with ideas and see things in new ways. And so like gathering in small communities, it's not easy because everybody works full time or they have to get up in the morning or whatever, but it's like so important getting writers together, workshops together, doing readings, just doing as much as you possibly can. I think that's what's been exciting about life recently is just like, these older people that I see. Back in August before the open mic started, I was doing all these readings in Manhattan. And it was like there was this scene of older people that, have lived in the East Village or whatever since the 80s. And they just go out and do open mics and like they go to a gallery, they go to their friend's art opening like every day. They're at AWP right now, for Christ's sake. My friends who are like older New York people have like a press and they're at AWP, like running around, they're doing readings and fucking like have a booth and shit. It's like, I mean, AWP is like the Association of Writing Programs, and it is sort of like the corporate conference of literature, which I definitely, it just sucks how literature in this country is completely corporate. There's no, there's small magazines and there is an outsider scene. A lot of it is on the internet, but like the real power and focus and attention on writing is like all of these big name people. They're either big name people like Gary Steingart or something like that, or like they're MFA people, or they're going to AWP. The open mic is sort of a wild. I mean, I think that's one reason why it's important that we sort of like hew it to show business, because like at least that does economize it in a certain way. And to go back to Kiwi Mountain said, I think the poets are entertaining. I think that's one of the differences between our open mic and like a typical poetry open mic. Nothing against that, but like I like show business. I like being entertaining. I want to be entertaining. That's always the conflict that I've had with poetry is I felt weird. I felt like I can't be entertaining and read poetry because like it's going to just throw this cognitive dissonance in with the other readings, which are typically not that entertaining. At least they don't do any like they don't perform, right? Most readings you go to, it's not like stand-up comedy where they're like, half of it is just like their charisma. A poetry reading is not really about charisma typically. It's about or if it's the charisma of like being like a vaunted poet is just like being like I don't know, boring or something. It's like being yeah, right. And but I think that's wrong. I think poets should be charismatic. I think they should be entertaining. Like I think they have as much, especially if they're going to get up in front of and read in front of people. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love boring poetry readings. I prefer that probably, but for me personally, it's like I have too much energy and I want to do something on stage. Yeah, exactly. Like you can marry the bard kind of performing style to writing that actually has a high degree of like aesthetic or intellectual quality or something. You don't have to like make your writing like stupid or like simple or something or like cheap. You can write like John Ashbery, but you can perform like David Lee Roth. You don't have to be boring. And then and it goes back to this thing about being cool. Like it's just a pose of like it's more important as a poet to give this pose of like I'm cool and I don't give a fuck. And in fact, I'm not going to do any kind of like vocal inflection at all because that's cringe and like try hard. I'm a poet. I just read. I'm not a performer. I'm not going to compromise myself by like trying to get the audience to like validate me or approve of me because that's not what a poet does. I don't know. Like, I think poetry is so playful and imaginative. To me, that's why I write it because it allows me to use my own imagination in dealing with my actual experience. I'm not making up some fantasy. And so it makes sense that when I'm reading on stage, I would want to apply that same imaginative sense of possibility and like be playful and be magical. Like poets are scribes and they're writing spells. Not to be corny or cringe about it, but like I do think there's a manifesting quality. Jacqueline Novak, I feel like somebody mentioned her yesterday. Somebody mentioned somebody named Jacqueline yesterday. Ah, okay. Interesting. Hmm. Interesting. Yeah, get on your knees is what it's saying. Yeah, interesting. Okay. Huh. I'll check it out. Yeah, that's a good example because this, inviting the stand-up comedians, uh, right, interesting. Yeah, you see people starting to do this, like the Nanette special. I didn't see it, but it was like it felt like it was sort of a hybrid more, or like that Fleabag maybe. I'm not like the thing is like once again, it's like a genre branding thing that like you have to pick some kind of like define. How do you describe what you're doing? It's a one person show. It's stand up. It's poetry. It's slam poetry. When it's like, well, I don't know, like, you don't it's not necessarily any of those things per se, or it's all of those things. Like you're saying, it's poetry, literary analysis, acting, stand-up. It's like, to me, that is exciting. If I'm gonna go see, like, one person get on stage, if they are interesting to listen to, and charismatic, and they have physical comedy or physicalization like mime or whatever, or even if they want to throw music in there, shit like that. It's like, uh, yeah, interesting. The freedom to move around from genre to genre in the middle of something is the ultimate goal. Yeah, exactly. Like, I think as people, we can accept that. You can accept that somebody is funny 1 second and then the next second they might make you cry. Whereas, like, in order to sell this kind of stuff, it's like you got to be a comedian. You got to keep people laughing, and that's your job. You make people laugh, and that's it. Exactly. This is something we sort of touched on with like Philip last night. Is like exactly like he was saying like the tragedies in Shakespeare. The mistake is to just play it all like a tragedy. It's like, well, it's life. You know what I mean? They don't know it's everything. Even though the play is a tragedy, it's about real life. And so there's comedy in it, there's politics in it, there's cosmology in it. It's about all of these things, and all of those tones are in there, all of those prosodies, all of those poetry styles, all of those kind of scansions are in it, and they create a giant complete kind of worldview. It's not just like, you know, uh, there can be tonalities, and certainly the plays definitely have, you know, emotional palettes and things that they're going for. But I like this idea that like our life, like he used Brecht as an example a bunch. And Brecht, is sort of probably most known for being like political. That's kind of Brecht's like prime target, I would say. But it's all in there. Brecht, I think, was being political because at that time, right, like it was imperative. But it's to not be political would be to deny a part of what our real life is like, right? If Brecht wasn't that overtly political, it would have been a lie. And so I think, at least with my writing, that's something that I do try to do is just like put the whole sphere of like our reality and what our experience actually is, where there's comedy and there's food and there's sex and there's politics and there's nature and there's music, like it's everything. You put everything in there, and that gives you sort of a convincing uh simulacrum of what your lived experience is actually like. Not everybody's necessarily trying to do that, I guess, in their poetry, but with comedians, I do feel like it is a parallel. Like a comedy special is a lot like a poetry collection. About once a year, every couple years, you come up with a special. It's like your 60 minutes of like good shit and stuff that you've worked on and like really, it's like this is your book. And I don't know, I think poets should perform their books in this way. Like why shouldn't a poet do a special or an hour, like um but the comedians at the same time I think could include a greater body of what life is like rather than just, most of them try to like have their targeted little jokes about they're trying to write jokes. I think that's the problem. Like jokes, I don't get it. People on the internet, I guess, really like jokes. They like setup punchline, they like the rhythm, they like the kind of hypnotic. There's like space in jokes. There's pause, there's timing. Whereas with spontaneous writing or jazz kind of composition or like this is like an improvised funny things happen, things make you laugh happen, but it doesn't necessarily have like joke sculpture or rehearsed kind of like revision work, like that's what you're hearing. I feel like when you hear most stand-up comedians today, you're hearing people that are trying to put 5 minutes together so they can go on TV. Yeah. Interesting. Mike sure told me you feel that with that show. Like they're not trying to write jokes on a lot of these documentary type shows. It's not like a sitcom from 20 years ago. Right. We don't write jokes, we write people. Exactly. The joke is like that the person is kind of interesting. Whereas like, a sitcom from 20 years ago, it's like every character sounds like they're just zinging each other. It's like they're all smart ass insult comics or something. And it's like, I guess there's a place for that. That's its own style, but I don't know. When I hear joke rhythms, it drives me insane. It just makes me feel like I yeah. The Seinfeld industrial complex. Yeah, I was wondering now, like I said, there's all these the finance to comedy pipeline is interesting. People, because I guess probably some of the few people that can afford to live in New York City now are in finance. And so they get laid off at their jobs or whatever, they quit or whatever. So they have money saved up. And so they can go and they can try doing open mic comedy. It's like how Tom Brady is doing like comedy now. It's like kind of like type A people are like, let me get involved with this. Because comedy is like, I don't know, it's become less about being funny and more about just like making some kind of convincing, like logical argument. Like you come up with a premise that sounds like kind of weird, and then then you like logically step people through it and they go, oh, that's funny. I never thought about it that way. And it's like, I don't know. I'd rather, yeah, there you go. A lot of corporate leadership trainings encourage comedy to build confidence in meetings. Definitely. That was a big thing. All these like team building exercises, it's like they want you to take like improv classes and shit. Or like doing stand-up comedy is like it's public speaking, basically. It's like being a toastmaster. It's almost like how to win friends and influence people. It's just like you get up and it's a good skill to learn, public speaking. And I do think comedy is like a lubricant for a lot of like the toxic stuff in our society. Like one reason why I think the Joker thing is such like an archetype now is because like America has become so fucking insane. Like everybody's hysterical. There's shootings, there's people are worked to death, nobody has any money. Our culture is just like just laugh it off. Just like we're all kind of hysterical and panicked and like anxiety, full of anxiety, but it's just like get high. These stand-up comedians are gonna like alleviate some of the stress by like making this like relatable and like, hey guys, did you ever notice this part about our lives sucks? And but it's like these corporations, they want to use comedy as a way to like bond people, get people friendly with each other. It's just a weird it's got so much, prevalence in our society. It's got so much cultural position. And yet it's like it's looked on as like this, and it is an art form. I think that's one thing that I find interesting about it in like sort of unexplored about it. It feels like there's a lot of potential, like I like the idea of getting up on stage and just talking and using your body, and like that is all you have to like create a work of art. And like I think comedy is like a reductive use of that. It's like there's more you could do than just get up and like talk about your wife's cooking or whatever the fuck, or like, I don't know. You could talk about anything for one thing. You could talk about the fucking banks failing or, like you really could go into anything. And so it's an interesting kind of open field. And there's just so much attention and money in it that I'm like, we got to get these poets some of this spotlight. Like there should be poets on the Tonight Show. I don't get why they wouldn't have, they'll have Patti Smith, they'll have Fran Lebowitz. Why don't they have Eileen Miles on the Tonight Show? Why don't they have Eddie on the fucking Tonight Show? Or Philip Marinovich. Could you imagine how good of a fucking guest Philip Marinovich would be on a fucking talk show? Like, you want to talk about, like, the expert talkers. Like, the poets are the best talkers. That's what I found. Because, like, you're just working on that so much. You're just practicing that by writing poetry and reading poetry. You're really sharpening your verbal skills. And so, like, podcasting, this live streaming thing, like, with the open mic, I'd like to just bust open the stage as a performance space for this kind of stuff. Like, let's use this as like a way to get poets into these rooms where there are big comedy crowds or people hungry for like verbal stimulation, people to think for them. When people listen to podcasts and shit, they're looking for somebody to help them understand what the fuck is going on about politics, about culture. You watch a TV show, then you listen to the podcast, which is like a recap of the TV show, and they kind of unpack it for you. It's like poets would be better at that than anybody. I'd love it if poets just had a like that politically incorrect show. Where it's like they got Mar, but then they've got 4 guests, and they just talk about whatever the fuck happened that day. Like, let's get a poetry round table where you just have 4 poets respond to what's in the news, or just have kind of a free form, improvisational, creative, collaborative. It could be like a music or a jazz band or something. It's like everybody gets to play their what? What are you sighing about?
What's that?
Ashley's sighing. Maybe I'll go 2 hours. I'll do 2 hours, I think. So I've got 23 minutes left. And then we'll go to the Apple store to get my phone back. Even that's going to be late. I don't know. This is like, my big picture. The open mic is phenomenal. I love doing it. Thank you guys for coming out. But it is also like, let's blow this up into a cultural wildfire. Like, this country needs like truth. This country needs like, and not just like some kind of like sugar coated, like when Philip was talking about America by Allen Ginsberg, right? That was a poem. That was a big initiating thing for me too. When he said, "America, go fuck yourself with your atom bomb." It was like, that was like stand-up comedy, because I was 12 years old. I've been watching Comedy Central and shit. And so like there was a comedy club in our, house, basically 24/7 on TV, but there's no poetry channel. Thank you, Mo David, for watching. We'll see you Monday at the 6-month open mic anniversary. I mean, the live stream is a good example of like, I love people watching and commenting and stuff, but it almost is easier to do when no one's watching, because you're less self-conscious or something. But I appreciate it. Thank you for watching. It was awesome. This was a good rap sesh. Thank you for the insights. Smart comments.
Oh man, Martyr said, I wish I had a tux or a gown.
Martyr Complex. You can just throw something together. If you have any kind of tie, suit jacket, button-up shirt.
Well, Chuck Saturday, he's going to plan.
It doesn't have to be black tie per se. You can just wear anything that feels like, just don't wear like, wear whatever you want, but
Ooh, she's got chai.
Don't just wear t-shirt or whatever. Chai. All right, we're on Bev Chat. All right, maybe we should get going. This was a good live stream. This is a good experiment. I've never had a guest on my live stream before. Thank you, Ashley, for being a guest. Thank you, everyone, for being active in the comments. Hopefully you enjoyed it. We touched base. So I'm living with Kuzu Daddy in Midwood. I will talk about that at some point. I should probably get a job. If anybody's got a job, I'd like to be like a PA. Or if you have anything remote, I would like to make as much money as possible for as little time. So I can keep my nightclub schedule moving. And I'm really focused on performing in clubs. I love the nightclubs. I love being in small clubs. I love the small magazines. I love my friends. Thank you, Mo David. Thank you, Lee Moore. Thank you, Kiwi Mountain. Tried to send you. Oh, man. Thank you. Via PayPal? Shit. Thank you so much, Kiwi Mountain. May all your dreams come true. What are your dreams, Kiwi Mountain, that are so hard to achieve? I think we've talked about them before. It was returned. Fuck. See, that's PayPal for you. At least they didn't take the money. Did they take a percentage as a processing fee or something?
Did you give him the right email address?
Yeah. Your stuff was not set up properly. Huh. Really? It didn't even allow you to send it? It all came back. Okay, good. Well, at least you got your money back. I'm glad you got your money back. Well, shit. Thank you for sending the money. I'd like to, yeah, I'm sorry. PayPal, I'll have to set it up. Maybe next time I live stream, I can, hey, $20 is a lot. That'd buy me an eighth. I'd appreciate that. That would be like buying me an eighth of weed. That would be phenomenal. There's nothing I'd want more than an eighth of weed. It's my favorite present to get anybody out there listening. Yeah. I hope you're having a great life. You're having a great time. And just get out there. Whatever it is you want to do, just get out there. Don't worry about being bad. It's better to do it and just have the, like, it's better to be what you want to be. You can't help if, there's not that many people that get exploited by the media or whatever. I don't know. You can do anything. Meditate, focus, envision exactly what you want. It's like when Jim Carrey, I'll end on this. And Jim Carrey, right, he wrote himself a check for $10 million. I think in the 80s. And it was like 10 years later, he got paid $10 million to be in The Mask. So he literally manifested it, okay? Such is the power of Jim Carrey, our spiritual leader. That is the secret. That is manifestation in action. He wrote himself a check. He dated it. And it was like planting a psycho-spiritual seed in the garden of the universe. And the angels listened. And it grew and it grew and it grew in the dark and in the silence and in the subconscious while he was living his life and doing In Living Color and doing Earth Girls Are Easy and doing all these films that went nowhere. And then one day, boom, he's got a wisdom tree. $10 million. Do you have anything else you want to say, Ashley?
Oh.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for watching. We'll check in soon. Everything's fine. Send money at Shoyish Venmo. Do not Venmo request me. Just send more money. I need help. I need help, everyone. I'm living on air mattresses and couches. Bedtime for Kiwi Mountain. Thank you for watching. You're the best. You're my number one. You've been here longer than anybody. Kiwi Mountain was my first viewer. It'll always be special. All right. Have a great day, Kiwi Mountain. Or whatever. Maybe it's night there. I don't know. All right. I'm going to go get my phone and then the journey continues. The path never ends, okay? Whatever path you're on, if you're a writer, if you're a comedian, you just keep doing it. You know? You do it. Look at the rock and roll bands are still out there because they're on the path. And even the master is a beginner.